Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you happen to be watching. Welcome to the Six Bugle Podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Ruiz, and your co-host is here with us as well, Christy Hensler. Christy,
Hello.
how are
Hi,
you?
I know. I'm good. I'm busy this week with the book. I'm right in the thick of
Oh, yeah.
launching that. So I sent the approval for the cover and I'm waiting for them to fix one thing in the inside. And then I just got the email this morning about the bulk book order. So
How
a
exciting.
pre-order link will be coming soon because I got a one shot at this discounted bulk rate. So
Okay,
I will
okay.
get that going. Yeah. But so I'm just kind of keeping them moving so I'm not holding up the works. So,
Got it.
but
No, that's
yes.
I bet you're excited. I bet you're really ready to put
I'm
this up.
excited that see it come to life because it was a long just kind of span there, which I knew it would be with them doing all the back end, editing and everything. So it'll be so I look to see this thing launch probably the next month or so. They're not giving me a date yet, but just based on the timeline they gave me and the way things are going, I
In
think it's
time,
going to be
in
soon.
time for Christmas?
Yes.
Good. So
Yeah.
I gotta
So
ask, give us a little taste. What can we look forward to in this book?
Well, so I haven't read the whole book because there's different contributing authors.
Okay.
But so for my piece, you can look for my story, maybe parts of it you haven't heard, but in a more condensed version. And then I gave the readers, but I didn't want to just give my story in there. I really wanted to give the reader, like always, some actionable steps to go
Okay.
do. And so I have 4 steps in there that are just kind of nuggets, and then a couple even self-coaching questions, like I did in my life hacks book. So, because everybody really loved that,
Yeah.
kind of tactical, give me something to do with it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I really, as some of you already know, I fired both ghostwriters they gave me because they just couldn't nail my story. So
Mhm.
I can't speak for the other chapters but mine was me. So I
Right.
wrote it. And so, with some help and my mom proofed it and stuff. But I feel like I really was able to nail, like, for the people that have never heard my story, kind of a big gap of it, but in a very concise way, but still impactful. So
Good.
it'll be interesting to get some feedback from people that have read life hacks or have heard my story and then read this. But as anything, like, I feel like this is a better writing than my life hacks book is good, but it was my first book. And so I feel like this chapter is even better than that. And so it's exciting to see that improvement, and then going
Excellent.
into my next book.
Excellent.
So it should be good.
Are you thinking
So we'll
about that
just
already? Your third book?
Yes, I am. I actually, when I was waiting for this one, I was like, I could already publish another book in the time they're taking to edit this one.
Wow. Right.
And so, but I am thinking about that probably next year, or if I have a lot of downtime over the holiday,
Yeah.
as we start to get in December, things will slow down.
Sure.
But I don't like to just like sit around, and
Right.
so I don't know. I am thinking about a book, but I don't know. We'll see.
Good. Good. Uh, you mentioned your mom. She's a wonderful lady, and I remember when I think we just had a conversation, and we were
Yeah,
talking.
when we were in Arkansas.
Yeah, and we were talking
Yeah.
about putting
Okay.
this podcast together. And
Okay.
and I think you showed it to your mom and said, "What do you think?" And she said that we had a chemistry. We
Yes, she
bounced
did.
off each other. So I thought, okay, well, I can do that. We can see what this takes us. And this will be, I think this will be version 25 for this year alone.
Is that what okay, awesome.
Yeah, volume
We've
20.
been pretty consistent this year. So
Yeah,
it's going. Yeah.
good. And it's more than just a conference, right? It's more, we try to provide additional tools for people and
Yes.
give you some additional insights and where to go when we don't have the answers, which is typically what leaders do, right?
Hmm.
And I remember some people were asking how we met. That one of the evaluations we had this year was we should talk about how we met and how we got together.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah, I thought
Okay.
that was a good thing. Maybe we can do that, just share our experiences and how we got together and how we made fun of the people in our group and we're still
That
kind
would be a good podcast. Okay.
of
Episode, not whole podcast.
yeah, right,
Okay.
right.
Be
Volume
clear there.
one.
Yes.
No, but we had some great people, and we still keep in touch with them, right? And this has
Yes,
been
we
what,
do.
2, 3 years now. I don't even remember, but
Yeah.
quite a,
3.
yeah,
Yeah.
quite a few
So
years ago. So it's all good. Anyway, um, just goes to show you whenever you collaborate with people that you know, like, and trust, you can build relationships, long-term friendships. We've met with Christie's husband, Matt, and they've met my wife, Martha. And obviously, this is a good, long-lasting friendship that we built together based on helping other people grow. And
Mhm.
that's what
For
gives us
sure.
joy. That's what gives us energy. And that's what provides us to keep on going and keep doing what we're doing. So we hoping you enjoy it. So one of the I mentioned evaluations, and one of the evaluations that we got back after one of the conferences this year was somebody had said, "I'd like to talk about body language, how to read body language, and or how to express my body language so that I'm expressing myself better or more professional or however you want to um, define yourself." So I was going through some TED Talks. I like to, when I get on my exercise bike, I like to just pop on a TED Talk or
Hmm.
inspirational video. Ed Milet is one of my favorites. But I ran into one that I found would be interesting to talk about body language, and I thought, oh, this is something that people are interested in. So let me take a look at it. And I thought she was just fascinating. Her name is Vanessa Van Edwards, and I liked her so much I had to pick up her book. This book is called Cues, Small Signals and Incredible Impact. Master the Secret Language of Charismatic Communication. I haven't finished it yet. I actually started, but I'm doing the Crusher book series, so I should have this done by this week. But
Just
that would be,
say.
yeah, yeah. I try to get a book in a week. So this is very entertaining, educational, and very informative. So I thought I'd share a couple points on this. And when she talks about cues, she talks about a variety of different cues. One is which body language cues to use when I'm communicating with people. And one of the key things she said is to lean in. It kind of
Mhm.
demonstrates a sense of interest, right? It demonstrates that you're actually listening to the people, not just there hearing them and goodness, I hope you finish
Yes.
because I'm thinking about my grocery list. I got to pick up my kids. I got to make dinner. What am I gonna make for dinner? We had spaghetti last night. Shouldn't do pasta. And then all of a sudden they're like, right, what do you think? And you're thinking, "Oop,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
uh, right. So expressing your body language not only demonstrates to the other person you're communicating with that you're actually listening to them, but it
Mhm.
puts you in a position where you're actually absorbing the information that's coming in, right? So that's one thing that you can do. And she mentions a number of them. I'm not going to mention them all because we have a short period of time here, but I want to mention some key ones. The other one was which vocal cues can make you sound more confident. And the one thing that really impressed me was the way you say hello. Something that you don't even think about, something that you just do because you're meeting someone and that's just automatically what you do. What Vanessa says you should do is think about something that makes you happy. So when you know you're going to be introduced to somebody, you're walking into a restaurant, your spouse says, "Hey, there's some friends that I know. I want to introduce you to them." um, immediately think about something that makes you happy, right? My kids did something hilarious the other day. Boy, that really put a smile on my face. And automatically you're smiling. And then when you approach the person, you say hello. You're thinking about what's making you happy, what's bringing you joy. And that kind of expresses that sentiment
Mhm.
to the person that you're saying hello to. They don't know what you're thinking, right? They think you're
Right.
just being happy to meet them, right? But you're thinking about something completely different. So you're putting yourself into a different mindset. Very good cue. The other one was which verbal cues to use in your emails. Now, I know in both conferences we talked about using AI, and Grammarly is one of the most popular ones. It is free, but they do have a paid version, which you don't really necessarily need unless you're really getting into more in-depth type of emails. But or if you want to start writing letters or writing articles, things like that, that would be beneficial for you then. But the free version is fine. You could just type it. There's a commercial, Christy, that I just saw the new Apple phone, right? And
Okay.
you get this guy, and he says he's typing. I forget what he says, but he's typing, and you could tell he's all disheveled, and he's just speaking like he normally would with his friends. Holler back. He ends up with the email. It says holler back, and that's not very professional. And he's in an office space. And then he hits the AI code, and it totally changes the email. Now it's very professional, and he sends it to his boss, and his boss is like, "You said this?" You know?
Who is this guy?
Right. Very impressive. And the guy's like, "Yeah, that was me. I said it." So there are a lot of good apps out there that can help you write those emails.
Mhm.
So those are some of the things that I would recommend that she recommends as well. So the other one was, which visual cues are you sending on your profile pictures and professional brand? Now she gets into different colors for your personal brand. Um, what message does your organization send? What kind of colors do they use? That type of thing, so that kind of matches into your website and things like that. Um, and basically, what does work for you? What do you feel comfortable in? What makes you happy? What brings you joy? Those types of types of clothes that are going to put you in a position of making you feel happy. If you feel happy, your picture is going to demonstrate that, right? If you put a nice, I like when I get a new suit, man, I feel good. And then Martha picks out a tie for me, and I got a tie, man, I feel good, right? And I'm like, yeah, I can wear this all day long, right? Wear this suit all day long, and it kind of makes you feel good. And that's the time where you want to take that picture because you're feeling good, right? And that's kind of going to kind of help you. She goes into some other details and other things about that. I don't want to say you got to wear blue or you got to wear red or you got to wear yellow because it may not be who you are. So she goes into a little bit more details about what that is and how it could help you. And the other thing is about understand I gotta wear my glasses here. Um, Hold on for a second. Enjoy this music while you wait.
Enjoy this. I would sing to you, but you'll end the podcast.
Unconscious bias. Know the biases that are working for you and against you, and counteract them slowly, consciously, and purposefully. We all have conscious biases, and that's not to say prejudice or anything like that. It's just a bias. And we had a speaker that offered his services for next year's conferences, and he talks about implicit bias. I don't know if we're going to bring him on, but we're still working out the details. But everybody has them. And you certainly don't, when you run into it, you certainly don't want that affect your mood or affect how you relate to people because Christy, you know as well as I do, our administrative assistants meet people all day long, every day. Not
Yes.
just the firefighters and the chiefs, but the people that come in to visit, people that come in to ask questions and things like that. And we want to avoid any unconscious bias and incorporate that. More importantly, you want to understand how other people are going to have an unconscious bias against you for whatever reason. Could be the color of your hair, for something as silly as that, right?
Right.
And you need to be able to process that and not let that bother you and not let that go the extra mile where all of a sudden you're identifying them as someone who you don't really care for or you don't really, and it could be something that doesn't even exist. So there's a way that you can do that where you can um, think about that unconsciously and then work your way through. The last thing, she has an evaluation. We talked about the disc assessment, and she has an assessment of her own. And the way you get to that is when you go to that, what her website or is called People. Oh my gosh, I forgot already. If you go to her website, and we'll post it here, it's called scienceofpeople.com. And if you go to scienceofpeople.com /bonus, you can do an assessment and they'll give you an idea of where you land on her graph. And the other thing is she'll provide a workbook Q workbook. So with this workbook, you can, if you read along with the book, you can read along with the workbook and then kind of do an evaluation of yourself. So this is all free. So I highly recommend that. Again, I said I'll provide you with the link that goes with it. We'll make sure we have it down here, or we'll make sure that we have it at the end of this podcast so that you can utilize that resource. And so far, Christy, I like it. I've only gotten to chapter 3 because I started yesterday, and I'm highlighting things. I'm making notes, and I'll have it done by Well, tomorrow, right? Today's Thursday. Yeah.
That's right. You better.
Well, I
November
usually
1st.
give myself a week, so I actually I'm
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so engaged. This is so engaging that I'm really excited to finish it, and I'd like to really get some more information out of it, and hopefully we can use some of these tools at one of our conferences here.
Yeah, Vanessa Van Edwards has been around for a while studying this, so she definitely knows her stuff. I used to use her stuff years ago with some sales teams and things like that. So I'll have to look up her new book because I don't have that. A funny story, well, a couple of things I wrote down while you were talking on
Okay.
the communication thing with the emails. The other side note I would like to add is sometimes sending, I love Loom, and those of you that communicate with me on email know you get Loom links from me. But I think, I was communicating with somebody in an accounting team a couple months ago with my agent and this book deal and things, and she was taking care of some things for me, and she took care of it, and I could easily just wrote like thanks back in that email, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a 20-second Loom. It was literally probably 19 seconds, and just see so she can see my
Yeah.
face, see my
Yeah.
expression, and I was just like, hey, thanks, Jessica, so much for taking care of this. I really appreciate all your help with this, and your part in this process. I hope you have a great day. I mean, it was that simple. And I didn't think anything of it other than, I'm just going to really make this perfect. And then my agent emailed me back like a day or two later, and he's like, hey, Christie, thanks for making like communication and relationships real again. Like, because, and like a 20-second Loom to his accounting person that I didn't even think anything of, but something like that small and that minor, just showing your face. You can get Loom. I have a paid version because I use it all the time, but you can use it for easily for free for what you're going to do with it. But just sending somebody a quick video so they can see your facial expressions, mannerisms, you can look them in the eye, so to speak,
Right.
can really, make a huge difference. So I just want to throw that idea out
Yeah,
there.
no, absolutely. That's a very good point. And you actually
And
took the time, even though it wasn't
yeah,
really that much that you took out of, but for them, it's like, wow, they took the time to really
right.
make their point. And you're right, you can demonstrate your body language that way as well.
Right. And that's how you build influence, because guess what? If I need something from her in the future, she's going to already think kindly of me. I haven't, but it's like that's how you build those connections with people, and you get people, because my kids are always like, how do you get everybody to do what you want, mom? And it's like, because I build influence with people, so they just want to help me out. They want to do good
Right.
for me. Do you know what
Oh
I
yeah.
mean? And so
Oh yeah.
that it's those small things. It's not any magic wand or any super cape. It's those small actions that make that stuff real.
No, absolutely.
So,
They remember you. They remember you that way.
yes, for sure.
Yeah,
And then
whatever.
the other thing, when you were talking about the branding and the pictures and looking good, a funny story the other day, because I'm all about feeling, if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you do good. That's my motto. And I spent so many years not even being able to get up and get myself showered. So you better believe I get myself ready, unless I'm scrubbing my house down for the day. I get myself ready every day. And I went through Starbucks the other day, and I pulled up to the window, and the lady's like, anything fun going on today? And I was like, I've just been running some errands. I'm taking my daughter to volleyball for the first time today. And she looks at me and she goes, you actually curled your hair today. And you actually brushed your hair and put makeup on. And I wasn't offended, but I thought, and then I thought, she's like thinking I'm a mom and I just should look like I just got out of bed, and I said, well, I actually do this every day unless I'm scrubbing my house down. And she goes, that is so old school. And I said, no, it's not old school. And she's like, my mom would be so proud. And I said, well, my mom is 74 or whatever. And she gets herself ready. I said, when and I was at the Starbucks drive thru, so I didn't get into all the reasons why I do this, but it is important. But she was just like mesmerized. And I had a t-shirt on and like a jean jacket. I mean, it didn't look like I was going to a black tie thing or anything, but I just, I had makeup on and I had did my hair, and she was just like amazed. And I was like, no, because when you feel confident, whether you're getting a headshot for your branding or, or your department, or you're just going to work, or you're going to the store, when you feel better and look good, you conduct yourself more confidently, like
Absolutely.
hands down. You
Absolutely.
just do. So it's it's worth the time, because people say, I'm not messing with doing my hair, I'm not messing with put makeup on. It's not a waste. It's worth the investment, because you start feeling better about yourself, and then you
Right.
start doing better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're taking care of yourself
yes,
just to make you know that it's going to make you look good. And how long
right,
does it really take?
right,
So
yes,
no, that's very good. Very good. Very good information. I appreciate that.
yeah,
So, yeah, like I said, just check it out. check out. She's got
Yeah,
tons of videos on YouTube, um,
sure.
TED Talks, and that'll kind of give you an introduction and give you an opportunity to really engage on what she's talking about. And hopefully you get to the point where you do end up buying her book or going onto the website and using her workbook. And I plan to use it. And hopefully this will help you, give you another tool to grow on. All right.
Yes.
All right. Anything to close, Christy?
I don't think lots of great stuff there. It's an ongoing learning process. So I think you could probably read that book 20 times and still get something out of it every time, you know?
No, yeah, you're right.
You just so I think just body language and reading people and understanding yourself, it's all part of awareness. It's just just keep learning, keep growing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us this week on the Six Bugle podcast, and we'll see you next time. Take care.